A lot of other OU stuff. Ted, do you want to start with tailgating? Do you want to start with the Walk of Champions? Do you want to start with TV shows? Where do you want to go? Your choice.
Let's start with tailgating.
Okay. OU administration announced that they are expanding public tailgating areas for the 2024 season. Now, the most notable areas are the lawn on Boyd Street across from Campus Corner,
Mhm.
and then basically any area around the duck pond there on, just east of the stadium. I love it. Now, I think technically, from what I understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ted, they gave us a map of the areas that are prohibited. Now, there are also areas that are encouraged, but I think fans can technically tailgate anywhere on campus except for the areas that are prohibited on the map. Am I understanding that correctly?
I I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So check the map. You got to go check the map out on the press release, people. But that's a lot of tailgating space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the duck pond area kind of fills out. It's just kind of thinking about the real estate and the lay of the land over there. I'm just kind of curious to see what that ends up looking like. But I mean, I think it's the east side of the stadium is the natural area to congregate. There's more parking there. The campus is west of the stadium, and I still love your idea about the South Oval, but
Oh,
that's still
Ted,
prohibited.
I was, it was the first area I looked at when they put the map out. And I go, oh, come on, because I have this vision. I've got this vision. The South Oval, just covered in tailgating tents, just smoke rising in multiple locations, TVs everywhere.
Kind of
People
like the
just,
Tulsa area that we walked through.
yes, which was awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
we'll get there eventually, right? This is just for the 2024 season. I am still optimistic that this tailgating operation is only going to continue to ramp up. And let me
yeah,
make myself very clear. I'm very excited that the administration made this decision because I think it is going to result in a better tailgating scene in Norman. But the South Oval, I'm telling you, that's it. It's right there. And people don't go to class or do stuff on Saturdays anyway during football season. Come on, you can block all that off. It'll be fine. Just cover it in tents, the flowers, the mums. The mums will be fine. We'll be all good, baby. That I do think that would be like the premium location if they opened it up.
yeah. I agree. But I think hopefully the duck pond area turns into that, and I think there's a chance that it does. And there's the spots on Lindsay that are public tailgating now. That's cool on the just south of the stadium. So I don't know. The people make the tailgate, right? So you can make any place out there great, and I imagine this year's going to be awesome. So, and the as you pointed out, and I know we're going to get to it, but the Walk of Champions kind of changes like the value of the real estate with where you're tailgating, doesn't it?
I believe so because yeah, the OU announced that the Walk of Champions has been moved. The team will now get dropped off at the corner of Jenkins and Brooks, and they will walk through what OU calls Party at the Palace. There's
Mhm.
live music, there's food trucks, there's all kinds of things for kids. And that should result in an awesome crowd. And also, who does their pregame show right along that walk, my friend?
You could go mobile and do a play-by-play walk in the crowd, maybe get an interview or two while you're walking in.
I'm sure Venables would love me sticking a mic in front of Stutzman's face right before they go play a football game.
It'd be awesome.
I
It'd be
would get
great.
form tackled by someone.
That is going to be cool though, and do the walk across the field. A lot of teams do that. Drop off in the kind of the opposite end zone and do a walk to the other end to go to the locker room. So that'll be cool.
Do you think it's going to result in more people listening to our pregame show? Because we've had some decent crowds over the years, but now that all the players are going to walk right in that area, I got to imagine some more OU fans are going to stumble upon us.
Yeah, I think so.
Did
And
Toby say we're going to a 3-hour pregame show?
there's some changes. I'm not clued into what exactly they are
He said it
yet.
wasn't going to change anything for me and you.
Yeah. I I I guess I don't want to say anything because I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I
Well,
really
maybe I
don't.
wasn't supposed to say anything, but here we are. What's done
Well,
is done.
I don't think we can say anything because I don't think we know unless you know. I
I
don't.
I want to make something very clear. Ted and I are the last people informed of anything.
That's right.
We make zero decisions when it comes to any of the broadcast stuff. They just tell us with
Where to
very little
be.
notice, hey, this is what we're doing, and because they know we're gonna be like, all right, sounds good.
Yep. Just tell me where to be and what time I'm going on. I know at one point, and maybe this is more for like road games, they had talked about doing like maybe a studio like pre and post also, if that makes sense. Like maybe as a run up, but I don't know if that is kind of what they ended up with, or if it's just going to be a kind of a more of a mash of audio from the week and interviews from both teams leading up to. I'm not sure.
Well, either way, with them moving the Walk of Champions, come see us at the party at the
Yeah,
Palace.
yeah,
Come listen to our pregame show. You're not going to get any better information heading into an OU game than you get from us. You're just not. But in all seriousness, you think about expanding tailgating, you think about moving the Walk of Champions. It's all about creating a better game day atmosphere in Norman, creating more buzz on campus. And my hope is that some of these changes will translate into more energy around campus, and those people will carry that energy into the stands for the football game.
yeah,
I I have to imagine that's the ultimate goal here with these changes is to create more excitement around the stadium. If you create more excitement around the stadium, you've got more excited people going into the stadium. Now, everyone's definition of excited is different, okay?
yeah,
Some people get excited in with different methods than others. But ultimately, I think these changes are all geared at trying to create a bigger, louder, rowdier atmosphere inside the stadium.
yeah. And I'm curious also with like your national pregame shows with the Walk of Champions. If there's ever one happening, that's going to go like right by where they've been setting up. So that will create a pretty cool little moment. And I don't know if the timing matches up right for game day or any of that stuff, but does the SEC, do they have like a traveling their own SEC
Yeah. Now,
pregame deal? Yeah,
yeah, remember, big noon kickoff, unlikely to show up at many OU games anymore,
right.
right? Remember, the SEC is all ESPN,
Yep.
all ABC and ESPN. So OU fans were very, very familiar with where they set up that big noon kickoff stage there north of the stadium.
It's gonna have to switch it to big evening kickoff if they're gonna be around anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I just it'll be interesting to see how often Fox shows up for SEC games. I don't know if we've reached a point right in the network wars where they just go, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe we're there, maybe we're not. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But either way, we've got OU fans. We've got the non-conference slate to get into shape for the Tennessee game. So
Rehearsals.
rehearsals. We got 3 dress rehearsals, people. So find your tailgate spot. Find where you're going to post up for the Walk of Champions. Find your pregame routine. You got to be in the groove when Tennessee comes to town. You got to have everything established, no uncertainty. You got to have the routine down. You got to be ready to roll. You got to know exactly what you're going to do to be at maximum capacity heading into the stadium and for the football game. Just you got 3 weeks to figure out what that process needs to be for you to get into that stadium and make some damn noise, okay?
That's right. That's right. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of built up energy for this season. I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be awesome. The opener is going to be awesome. I know it's a Friday night thing, but I think that has a chance to be special.
It is going to be sweet. You and we're going to get a full Saturday during football season. You kidding me?
Unbelievable.
I can only imagine how many beverages we're going to have on that Saturday.
All of them.
The Lehman pool will still be rolling.
Oh my God. You kidding me? An in-season pool Saturday? What's going on?
Oh man. Dangerous combination. Well, one last thing that applies to OU football and applies to us too. Griffin Media announced a partnership with OU Athletics. So, just to clarify things, if you've been watching our shows on ESPN Plus, so Coach's Corner, Sooner Sports Talk, The Huddle, Sooner Game Day, those shows will still be on ESPN Plus under the SEC Plus channel. But in a very exciting announcement and development, those shows will also now be available locally on Griffin Media's channels in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. You can check the press release for all those channel details, but and they're going to air kind of late at night, so it may be a DVR situation for a lot of people. But Ted, this is awesome. And this is something that I've been saying we should do for years. So I was thrilled because ultimately what this means is it is going to be easier for more OU fans to watch our stuff. And I believe the product that we put out there with those shows, I believe is really, really, really good. So I'm very excited that more OU fans are going to get to see it.
Yeah, I am too. It's easier. It's represented on local channels, which I really like. You know, because the ESPN Plus and all that, that's good, obviously, but it's not as easy as you would think for some people. So the fact that it's going to be on those channels, it's natural, right? It should be. It just feels like that's where we should be broadcast.
I feel like a lot of OU fans, maybe all OU fans, the majority of OU fans know how to navigate ESPN Plus now with what they've had to go through the last couple of years. But it will be nice just to turn your TV on, go to KSBI, and go, oh, hey, there it is. Here we go.
And
Let's watch Ted talk about the
yeah,
defense.
and everyone knows that the streaming television is horseshit when it comes to fast forwarding, rewinding, pausing, all of those things. So the DVR is still the only way to go. Be much better. Can fast forward right through all of our horrible takes and get to some real stuff.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be opposed to this here podcast being televised on those same channels? You think that's something that people would want? Maybe
Of
too much
course,
risk in it for Griffin Media.
perhaps. I don't. There's actually no risk in it. I could, dude. I've been doing radio for, gosh, I started in 2012, I think. So I've been doing radio. radio for a long time. I could slap the radio filter on instantly, on and off.
I, we'll we'll just let them we'll just
Edit
let
out.
them edit. Yeah, we don't get loose with it very often anymore because, in all seriousness, as I have, as my kids get older, right? As my 3 year old, I hear him repeat what he repeats all the time now. I totally get why people don't like us cussing a bunch on here because a lot of people listen with their kids in the car, and I totally get that. I think we've done a good job of being selective with our cursing. Like when we cuss, people are like, "Whoa, okay, that carries weight," which I think is an effective way of doing it. But yeah, Griffin Media, they got people that could, bleep that stuff if you let the tiger out of the cage, which happens every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I think I'm just lobbying for Griffin Media to put our podcast on I had not thought of this until we started talking about it. Not on the rundown, Ted.
no,
This is an organic thought in the moment. So I don't know. I don't know what OU fans would think of it.
I like it. You may have to slap that parental advisory, like if Elaine Johnson or someone comes on the pod, but
Yeah.
other than that, I think we'd be good.
I think some people would watch it late at night.
Yeah,
I don't
why
know.
not?
I don't know. Maybe Griffin, have your people call our people. Us too. We are our people.
We are
This
our
is,
people.
this is a two-man operation. Okay, let's finish up with our. I feel like that was a shameless, just like, hey, you want to put our stuff on your channels? If
Let's start spamming them with email clips,
it's a natural thing to do, guys. It's a